What's up, everybody, and welcome once again to the Gimme presented by BetMGM. Why the Gimme? You guys know why? Because it's good. Our Ryder Cup hangover as well. It's almost over. We're getting there, and we're ready for the Sanderson Farms Championship, less than 12 hours away from the first tee time at Country Club of Jackson. We'll get into everything coming up on the show. I'm Jason Sobel. She's Amanda Rose. He's Justin Ray. Coming up, we've got our perfect portfolios. We're going to make our DFS lineup, our ultimate DFS lineup, our first round leader bets, and we'll even get to one player that we each like to make the Ryder Cup team 2 years from now. That's how far in advance we're thinking about this stuff. Before we get into it, BetMGM has let us make a prop on their book. Thank you, BetMGM. Sergio Garcia, top 10, boosted to 3-1 plus 300 on their book this week. Amanda, you taking that?
I am actually taking that, and you'll see in my perfect portfolio here.
Oh, very soon.
Unless you're asking me to segue into it, I can't tell.
No, that's still tease. We'll get to that in a minute. Jay Ray, you taking that?
You know, the last 5 times Sergio Garcia has played in the Ryder Cup, his first start immediately afterward, 4 of those, he finished in the top 10. All 5 times he finished in the top 20, as well as he played here last year getting the win. Yeah, I think I'm on that bet.
You stole my stat. That includes a win and 2 runner-up finishes. John McGinnis, our friend from SiriusXM Radio, told me that one, but he said he stole it from somebody else. So I don't even know who to credit anymore. So I'm not taking
I tweeted it 3 days ago, so you can go ahead and credit me.
It's like the COVID of stats.
That's where he found it. Yeah, this thing's spreading. The Sergio stat is spreading all over the place, but it has come full circle now. I'm not going to take it. I know his history, but I think he's tired. I listened to his press conference today. I think he yawned in the middle of it. So credit to him, defending champion, for showing up in Mississippi this week. But I'm exhausted. I just watched guys play and did this little thing on my laptop, just typed away all weekend. I still am trying to get over it. He actually played really solid golf, 4 matches in 3 days. He's got to be tired. All right. Top of the board at BetMGM this week. Sam Burns, 16-1, then a whole bunch of guys at 18-1. Corey Connors, Sergio right there, the defending champion. Sungjae Im, very interesting. Will Zalatoris still looking for that first win. And Mito Pereira, had him on the radio show earlier today. He seems very, very confident. He's gotten a lot of steam this week. That number has moved down to 30-1. All right, let's get to our perfect portfolios, as Amanda tried to get in front of a minute ago. We'll get there, Amanda. Whether you're betting high volume, low volume, high stakes, low stakes, we all want winners. Amanda, give us some winners.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to start off with that Sergio top 10 bet. I mean, he won here last year. He played well at the Ryder Cup, and he's just in great form right now. Another guy in great form is Will Zalatoris, and honestly, at this point, I'm just going to keep picking him until he wins because it's going to happen soon. Charlie Hoffman, he comes to this event first in strokes gained total, top 5 in tee to green, ball striking, and approach stats. Shocked he didn't win last year, but he's also in really good form. And finally, Keegan Bradley. I think he's really close to really good play. If you look at his ball striking numbers, he's 4th in strokes gained total and ball striking and around the green, 1st in tee to green, and then he's 3rd in approach. So he's just hitting the ball so well. It's a short game in his putting that's really holding him back right now. So as soon as he can figure that out, I think he's gonna be winning again soon. But I think this kind of time off last few weeks has given him time to regroup, figure it out, and I think we're gonna see a new Keegan Bradley.
All right, I like those. I'm gonna go with some long shots here. We haven't seen in recent years too many favorites or even guys near the top of the board winning this event. So I'll go top 10s on 4 players with decent sized numbers next to their names. JT Poston, it's actually plus 120, plus 12,500. Boy, that took a lot for me to figure out there, but 125-1 for JT Poston. He was second on the PGA Tour in putting last year. The greens are rolling 13.5 to 14 on the stimp this week in Jackson. And I think you're going to have to roll your ball. Of course, total driving is going to be important as well. He actually led in total driving at the Fortinet Championship despite missing the cut a few weeks ago. So I really like Poston this week. Hudson Swafford was riding a little bit of a heater before that stalled out in his season debut, but I'm jumping back on him. He should be in much better form again in the Southeast. Southeast guys in the Southeast should be guys that we're looking at this week. Steven Yeager, had him on the radio show a few weeks ago as he was finishing up his Corn Ferry season. I asked him, hey, if we're going to take you somewhere during the season on the PGA Tour, he gave me 2 names, Sony Open, and the Sanderson Farms. So if he says it, I'll say it too. I like Jaeger this week. And the last one, a guy that doesn't get credit for as good as he is. He can't necessarily compete every single week out there, but on the weeks that he can compete, he tends to contend. CT Pan is a very, very good player. I expect to see a big leap from him this year. So I like him for a top 10 as well. J. Ray?
So I'm going to start my portfolio off with Corey Connors for a top 10 finish. Runner-up at this event in 2018, had a top 20 finish last year. I genuinely think this could be a big breakout season for Corey Connors. Top 10 on the PGA Tour in strokes gained off the tee and approach last season. He's going to be on that International President's Cup team. I would not be surprised to see him win multiple times this season based on how well he's been striking the ball over the last 18 months since becoming a full-time PGA Tour player. Next guy on my list, I've got Peter Malnati for a top 20 finish. Now, this is a golf course where ball striking statistics have been a little bit neutralized over the years. Putting ends up being a little bit more significant in determining the winner than normal. The average strokes gained putting rank of winners at Jackson Country Club is 6.6. The PGA Tour average in that span is 14. So that gives you an idea of what the disparity is like and how important putting is. Peter Malnati combined 44 under par on this golf course since 2014. This is a course he needs to take advantage of, a week where he can take advantage of his putter, and he has in the past. Runner-up here last year, nearly beat Sergio Garcia, and he won it some years ago to get his first PGA Tour win. Next guy I have, Davis Riley for a top 20 finish. His performance off the tee and on the greens, both rewarded statistically here more so within week to week, as I talked about. Davis Riley, one of two players on the Korn Ferry Tour last season in the top 30 in both total driving and putts per green in regulation. Mississippi native. He made his third career PGA Tour start a few years ago here in this event. And then my last guy, another one of the more elite putters on the PGA Tour and has been for some time. I've got Denny McCarthy for a top 20 finish. One of the best putters on the PGA Tour the last several seasons. Like Peter Malnati, this is a week where he needs to take advantage, and he has recently. 3 top 20 finishes in a row in this event. I think he's going to do it again this week.
Yeah, I like that. And pay attention to good putters. I know we always say there's variance in putting, but as soon as I heard today how fast these greens are in Jackson, I started thinking of Mackenzie Hughes, one of my favorite fast greens putters. I don't think we're going to mention him somewhere else in the show, so just wanted to get that in. I like those plays, Jay Ray. All right, let's get to Country Club of Jackson. 7,461 yards. Sounds long, doesn't play as long as it sounds. Par 72. Total driving, I've been told, is going to be important this week. So long and straight, that works at most golf courses, works even better at this one, and maybe explains why Sergio Garcia, who tends to hit it long and straight, played so well a year ago. And again, the greens, they're quick. They're going to be real quick this week. All right, first round leader bets. We've got a contest this week on Twitter. Go over on Twitter. If you get it right, you might win some golf bet merch. Who doesn't like to be a winner right when the week starts? We'll give our favorite first round leader plays. Amanda, why don't you kick it off?
Yeah, so once again, I have my first round leader article up on Action Network's website, and I'm going to go again this week with Cameron Tringali. He tied for second at the Fortinet, shot 66. He was third last season in first round scoring. I mean, he's been hitting different stuff that I need him to hit. So I'm just going to keep going back in there. And I mentioned him in the article. I also mentioned JT Poston, who you mentioned. And I said, I couldn't believe it. He was 90-1 for first round leader odds. I'm like, he's, he's a winner. He's a recent winner on tour. So I agreed with that. So good job, Jason.
Thank you. Across the board, like outrights, top tens, DFS, like he is completely undervalued. And I like the Tringali play. Tringali is basically like an auto bet FRL for me these days. He starts off really strong on Thursdays. I'm going with another good Thursday player in Chris Kirk, 66-1 to be the first round leader this week. He's shot 67 3 different times in the opening round of this event. He also was 19th in round 1 scoring average on the PGA Tour last season. So another guy that likes to start quickly on Thursdays. Justin?
I'm going to go with Carlos Ortiz. Guy's got a pair of top 5 finishes here the last 3 years. Opened up with a 65 in 2019 when he finished in a tie for 4th at the Sanderson Farms. 18 under par in his last 4 opening rounds worldwide. It seemed like a good number on Ortiz, so I've got him as my first round leader. All
right, Tringali, Kirk, Ortiz, 3-way lead for after 18 holes. How's that sound, guys?
Ortiz was also in my article. Look at us. We're on the same
Somebody's stealing
level.
somebody's stuff. I don't know who it is.
Just great
You
minds.
guys are stealing my stuff. I get it. It's fine.
Great minds.
Yeah. All right. We'll give that to you. All right. Let's get to the ultimate DFS lineup. We do it every week on the Links and Locks podcast. Also, check out all those models and tools on Fantasy Lab. Some great stuff over there. We drew straws and Amanda won somehow again.
It's crazy.
The hottest streak in all of golf. You go first.
Oh, sports.
It's like the Cardinals.
It really is. So I'm gonna go with Corey Connors, a guy we've already talked about. His ball striking stats here are incredible. He finished second in 2018. He gained 12 shots on the field, tee to green alone. So he's setting himself up to make putts. He's just continually playing good golf, and he's kind of one of the heavy hitters this week. If you look at him and the rest of the field, he's one of the guys with the win. So I'm gonna start off with Corey Connors.
Jay Ray.
All right, I'm going to save us some money with my pick. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. This guy's got a top 25 finish in this event each of the last 2 years, 10 career rounds played. Zach Johnson is shot under par in all 10 of them. Also, this is very important, a key metric, strokes gained vibes. Iowa football is in the top 5, and Zach Johnson is coming off being an assistant captain for the best Ryder Cup team that we've seen in the modern era. I'm going Zach Johnson, baby. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Zach Johnson.
Yeah.
Unofficially. Maybe.
Seems like a lock.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's no odds available yet, at least not on BetMGM, but at some point there might be. Of course, at some point Tiger Woods might say, hey, I got next, and everybody gets out of the way and Tiger will take it. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Zach Johnson. All right. I'm going to go with the guy that we just quickly mentioned earlier, but Mito Pereira is getting a lot of steam in the marketplace. A lot of people on him this week. Guy's got top 6 finishes in 4 of his last 6 starts. He's at 9,900. It's a big number. Spoke with him earlier today on PGA Tour Radio. Sounds really confident. He said, look, I'm not a bettor myself, but if I was betting, I'd bet on me. All right. It's good enough for me. Amanda.
Sorry, my
somebody
dog.
Else.
My dog tried to jump up on the other couch, and she just kind of ricocheted off of it, and then she kind of sadly came and hobbled over here, so I had to help her up. But
does she have a
who's
pick?
she like this week? Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, she likes Seamus Power. She likes
Right.
Irish guys. I think that's what it is. He's so underrated right now. No one really pays attention to him. You're getting really good numbers on him. He already has a win this calendar year. He's a good price. I just love where his game is. I think he does everything so well. I think he really has potential to be a rising star, and he's someone we could potentially see on a Ryder Cup team in the next 6 years, or 6 to 8 years.
Yeah. Okay.
4 to 6 years.
Dog like Seamus Power. We're going Seamus Power.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm next. I'm
Sure.
going to go back to the well with the guy I mentioned earlier. We've spent a bunch of money on this team so far. Davis Riley is just 6,400. This is a guy who could be in the discussion for one of the best new players on the PGA Tour this season. I mentioned he had great driving and putting numbers last year on the Korn Ferry Tour. One of 2 players in the top 30 in both total driving and putts per GIR. Also talked about how those 2 statistics are going to be important this week at Sanderson Farms, Jason.
I was going to make a joke about the dog saying rough. I was hoping the dog was saying rye. Doesn't really work. I'm taking Aaron Rye anyway. Plays well on short, tight courses. Sort of fits, not totally, but really like this guy. Again, keep mentioning our radio show. Maybe someone will listen at some point if I keep talking about it. But had him on the show a couple of weeks ago. He uses iron covers. He's on the PGA Tour. He uses iron covers. Michael Collins and I decided, we're going to have a little fun with it. We're going to make fun of him for using iron covers. And he talked about how he didn't come from a wealthy background. When he was 8 or 9 years old, his dad bought him his first set of clubs, spent a lot of money on them. And because he spent so much money, he got him iron covers to protect those clubs. And so to this day, even though he gets clubs whenever he needs clubs, he puts iron covers on him to remember where he came from, remember his background. I'm like, oh my God, that's the greatest answer to a question I've ever heard. I love this guy. So I'm all in on Aaron Rye. So that's our lineup this week. Connors, Zach Johnson, Mito Pereira, Power, Riley, Rye. Ship it. All right, let's move on. And in case you guys missed it, the Ryder Cup was played this weekend. United States won 19-9. It was fun. Everyone cried afterwards. Brooks and Bryson hugged. Good time was had by all, other than some of the Europeans, maybe. 2 years from now, it's going to be at Marco Simoni in Rome, Italy. And I think it'll be much different, at least how it looks, if not the result as well. Guys, I'm not sure we can bet on this yet, but maybe some books will open it up. How about a player that wasn't on the team this past weekend, but will be on the team 2 years from now? Either team. Justin?
So I've told guys in the past, when it's a bet that's this far out in the distance, I like to go pretty deep. I want some value. I want a big number next to the name. How about Alex Fitzpatrick, Matt Fitzpatrick's younger brother? He's currently the 4th-ranked amateur in the world, first-team All-American at Wake Forest, extremely bright future ahead. I think you can get a nice number on that. Alex Fitzpatrick's got a big future ahead of him. Who knows? Maybe it involves being on that team in Italy here in 2 years' time.
Nice. I like that. That's a good call. Amanda?
I am also going on the European side. I'm going to go someone and his caddy who are very near and dear to my heart. And that is Guido Migliozzi. I think that he is just going to be an absolute star in this game. He already has 2 wins, and his last win was in 2019. So he hasn't even won recently. He finished top 5 the US Open, got him into the Travelers, played his first PGA Tour event there. He's just a good player. I think he has a lot of potential. And in the next 2 to 4 years, I think there's going to be a lot of contribution that he can give to the European team.
I like that play. And I can tell you, as a Long Islander who is grown up right near Bethpage, that if Guido is on the team in 4 years, there are going to be a whole lot of fans yelling his name at Bethpage State Park that week. Can't wait for that. All right, I'm going to go on the American side. Justin and I talked about this on our podcast the other day, and I get 2 years is a long time, but I think 9 or 10 of these Americans are going to be back on the team in a few years. I'm sure that's going to go horribly wrong, and it'll be like 3 of them. But some of these guys, I mean, Colin Morikawa, Xander Schauffele, Patrick Cantlay, Justin Thomas, they will be back on the team. They're not going anywhere. So I don't see a whole lot of spots open, but one will open at the back end. And I think Sam Burns is going to jump right on there. He's already 25th in the world, and he's just getting started. I love his trajectory. He is moving up in the world. And I think he's going to be a guy that plays on not just one, but multiple U.S. teams moving forward. All right, guys, that's all we got. Thanks to everybody out there for watching the game. And remember, go to GolfBet for all of this week's Sanderson Farms content. Plus, we've got even more every other week. For Amanda Rose, for Justin Ray, I'm Jason Sobel. Good luck with all those Sanderson Farms Championship bets this week. Here's hoping you hit the green.